I'm just going to say it, this is the best balanced WearOS smartwatch I've ever used, and since starting this review period, I've already recommended it to 2 family members. It manages to offer class performance, chart-topping battery life, elite charging tech, and a pretty solid software experience, all for less than $300, with more trade-in savings possible if that's something you're into. It's a slam dunk right now. Hey guys, I'm Ryan Thomas, and if you run an Android smartphone and you want a WearOS watch, you'll find it pretty difficult to buy a better smartwatch than this. It's the OnePlus Watch 3, and just like what OnePlus has been doing with its smartphones over the past couple of generations, it is building on success from its predecessor. This is an absolute beast of a watch in more ways than just one, and though it's up there with my favourite smartwatches right now, I actually cannot wear it, so let's get into all of that stuff. Okay, so I just want to start by talking about the price. This thing is sub $300 with current deals, and there are even more savings to be had with trade-ins, and you even get a free pair of OnePlus Buds in certain markets. Therefore, this is clearly a high-end but not ultra class of smartwatch. It's not competing on price with the likes of the Galaxy Watch Ultra or the Apple Watch Ultra 2. Those are in a different price tier. But honestly, it's hard to not compare this with those. It is probably my favourite smartwatch design ever. It looks and feels absolutely beautiful with its titanium bezel and its sapphire crystal glass on the display. It feels like an expensive watch, and that's a strong compliment. OnePlus upgraded the screen as well, so it's now a 2200 nit peak brightness display, which makes it noticeably more readable outdoors in direct sunlight compared to its predecessor. Watch displays probably have been the best affected, the best benefited by the recent development in screen brightness technology. It works great here on the watch. It's sharp, it's smooth, and thanks to the now functional crown on the side, you don't need to obscure it when scrolling. I'm so glad OnePlus implemented this. It felt like a bit of a cut corner last year, having the crown on the watch but no real way to use it. This is much better. Thanks OnePlus. Fun fact, there were certain models that got sent out of this watch that had a typo on the bottom of them. Made in China instead of made in China. This review model is one of those units. Kind of a cute little Easter egg. This has since been resolved by OnePlus, by the way, and they offered to recall and replace any of the affected watches. Of course, it's IP68 rated, MIL standard 810H compliant, and waterproof up to, I believe, 5 atmospheres or 50 meters of depth. So swimming, running, cycling, rock climbing, whatever it is you want to do with this watch, it realistically should be able to do it. It feels very, very robust. And that's where I was really surprised by the OnePlus Watch 3, because it looks and feels premium and high-end, but it doesn't strike you as a particularly hardcore sports watch. And those serious athletes are still probably going to go with something like a Garmin or a WearOS for their next wearable. The Watch 3's fitness and health tracking capabilities are seriously impressive. It's not just the quality and the accuracy of the data recorded, with some samples here comparing it to my specialist Garmin Fenix 7 Sapphire Solar, but there's actually more volume of data than I was really expecting as well. This is all viewable through OnePlus's OHealth app, where you can also pick through the different watch faces, of which there really aren't that many at the moment, but you can also change the pages and titles. You can install apps this way as well through the Play Store and adjust watch settings all in OHealth. It's pretty comprehensive, and I'm glad that it's all in one app, where some of the OnePlus Watch 3's competitors make you download multiple apps to adjust everything and then view fitness data separately. So I'm glad that it's all in one piece of software for the Watch 3. Performance on the watch itself is, well, absolutely no problem. The Watch 3, similarly to last year's option, runs the dual architecture system with high and low power systems that combine for amazing battery life, better than most other watches that you just use a single architecture system. There's 2 GB of RAM here, which is the magic ingredient for WearOS performance, and I've had 0 complaints with this watch and how it operates. OnePlus has actually extended the Watch 3's long-term software support to 3 years now, so it will get WearOS 7 in 2027, which is great to see. More long-term support, especially for wearables, I think is great, and I'm all here for that. I've been running the always-on display, the raise to wake, and the auto brightness settings with a couple of walks, runs, and an outdoor cycle. With all of that together, my watch has managed to last me about 4.5 days on a charge in smart mode. I haven't had time to test the low power power mode, which OnePlus claims will give you just over 2 weeks on a charge, but only having to charge the watch twice in a week is something I really value, and I'm glad that this is here. In fact, when you do go to charge it, the top-up experience matches the longevity one. OnePlus still uses its proprietary charging puck with USB-C port on the side, which is super underrated, by the way. It means you can change the cable out for whatever you want, C to C to A, longer cable, shorter cable, whatever you want. And the sizable 648 mAh battery takes just under an hour to charge from 0 to 100%, which is much faster than a lot of its contemporaries. This battery is 50% bigger, or around that, of the Galaxy Watch 7, the Pixel Watch 3, and almost double that of the Apple Watch 10. This is seriously impressive. Just like its OnePlus 12 and 13, the Watch 3 is the king of battery and charging technology. The Watch 3 is certainly not perfect. Come on, ECG is disabled in North America. It's absolutely huge and won't fit on everyone's wrists. There's no LTE or cellular connectivity right now, so if you're the sort of person who likes to go out on a run and not have to bring your phone with you, but you want to stream media or even take phone calls, that's just not going to happen. Though it does have 32 gigs of onboard storage, so if you want to store media like music or podcasts locally, you could do that also and stream to earbuds. There are two annoying things about this watch, both linked to each other, and unfortunately mean that I will be taking this off my wrist with the review period over. And this is going to be a personal thing. This might change for you. But number one, there's one size and it's huge, it's a beast. Now, this ordinarily wouldn't be a problem. It's actually roughly the same footprint as my Garmin, but of course with a much larger display because the bezels are much thinner. And it's also seriously hefty. I mean, while the fitness tracking is fantastic, I feel like fitness fanatics might also want to steer clear because this thing is just so heavy on the wrist. We're talking 20 to 30% heavier than its competition. But the problem, just like last year, I did point this out with the OnePlus Watch 2, is that these lugs and the straps are fixed. There is no pivot point. You can swap them out for other straps, but there's no pivot point. In all fairness, this is not a problem limited to the OnePlus Watch 3, and this is going to vary based on your wrist size. I happen to have the world's smallest wrists, and so bigger watches, I struggle to get on there. But the ones with pivot points, like my Garmin, allow the straps to be more flexible, and I can get that massive watch on my tiny wrist and it be perfectly comfortable. This just isn't that. And the pivot points are almost like a watch comfort shortcut, which OnePlus has opted not to take this time around. But for those whom the Watch 3 does fit, this is the most complete and best WearOS watch for me right now. It's such a comprehensive package, and for under $300, it almost feels like a no-brainer. The performance is flagship level, the build and design is super classy and sleek, it feels more like a high-end traditional watch than the likes of the Pixel Watch 3 and the Apple Watch Ultra. The battery life is absolutely fantastic, chart-topping actually, the charging tech is superb, and the fitness and health tracking are really robust, very complete. Unless you're an elite athlete, this should be enough for people who like to run parkrun every week and are training for their first marathon. There's simply nothing that matches this watch's quality and quantity of features in its price point. Bravo OnePlus. Let me know what you think of the OnePlus Watch 3, guys. Are you a fan this year? The Watch 2 was a marked improvement over the original, and well, this just takes it a step further. It's annoying that it's just slightly too uncomfortable for me to continue wearing, but again, I do have abnormally small wrists. I think for the more enthusiastic fitness fanatics, you might go with a Galaxy Watch Ultra or some kind of dedicated sports watch. That's still the way to go maybe. I'm not giving up my Garmin anytime soon. But as an all-round smartwatch, man, it's really hard to beat this thing. If you have an alternative or would prefer a different watch, let us all know in the comments. Tell us why you would buy something else. And whilst you're down there, be sure to hit like if you enjoyed today's content and subscribe to never miss another upload. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been Ryan Thomas and I will catch you later. Cheers.